Without further ado, we'll turn the mic over, Teresa, to you to introduce yourself.
Good evening. My name is Teresa Morrison, and as you can tell, I'm running for City Council. Okay. See if I can do a little better. Is that better? Okay. So good evening. My name is Teresa Morrison, and as you can tell, I'm running for City Council. Let me tell you, it's quite a run. It's not a slow walk. You just start and go quickly. Anyway, I'm running for a number of reasons, but one of the main reasons is that I think that council can do a better job at listening to residents and proactively incorporating their voices into the conversation about what happens in Los Altos in the future. My husband and I moved to Los Altos in 2002. We bought our home because we were attracted to the large lot size, the abundance of greenery, the safe and quiet neighborhoods, and the small town character. If I'm elected, I promise that I will continue to maintain those characteristics and others that apply to Los Altos and what makes it a wonderful place to live and a unique place to live in this Bay Area. In 2005, a neighborhood group was formed in Loyola Corners. It's called Los Altons for Neighborly Development. I'm a member of that. I was a founding member of it. I consider the name of that to be indicative of what I stand on as I'm running for council. In each and every deliberation that I make, I will make sure that I consider the impacts on the neighbors and the neighborhood for every development and every project that is brought before the council. In addition to that experience, I was a member of the Downtown Buildings Committee. Anita and Enander was also on that committee with me. We were tasked with figuring out why the residents were upset with the heights and the density and the so-called canyon effect on First Street. We spent a number of months working on that, and we came back to council and told them what we thought needed to be done differently in the future. Council adopted some of the recommendations and did not adopt others of the recommendations. One of the recommendations that was not adopted was a checklist for the developers and others in town so they knew exactly what was expected of them when they're coming into our town to put a project forward. That is one thing that I would want to have enacted if I'm elected. I think it helps to reduce confusion, and it allows the developer to understand what's expected of them. My time is running short. There's so much more to say. I hope you'll visit my website. I have a flyer out front. And if you remember nothing else from this introduction, please remember Morris is for us, and please vote for me.
Good evening. We live in the best city in the Bay Area. I know because I've lived in Los Gatos, Saratoga, San Jose, and Menlo Park. This is definitely the best one. It has changed, and it will continue to change. With your support, I will help Los Altos lead in innovative ways to manage the growth that we're experiencing by assuring we have safe streets, reducing traffic in our neighborhoods, conserving our open spaces, maintaining vital commercial centers, and sustaining the exceptional quality of life we all moved here to enjoy. I'm concerned about the direction of our city. That's why I'm running. Our mayor's approach seems to be that we are rich. We can borrow and do everything. I grew up in a family where every nickel mattered. My first job was cutting apricots. As a small business owner, I learned to be careful about every dollar spent. We cannot pat ourselves on the back and say we have less of a pension problem than other cities. It will come back and bite us eventually. We cannot plan to build parking garages by collecting only half the cost from developers with no plan for how to pay for the other half. This election is about the future direction of our city for the next 20 years and more. Our council has been focused on downtown and a new community center, one that is now more than 40% over the budget that was promised to us. Well, the residents in other parts of our city would like to know that we're paying attention to their needs and interests as well. I was surprised to learn about the gaps in our Safe Routes to School program. Beyond disappointed that the council just gave up on fixing the seniors kitchen at Grant Park, which could also serve many others. In 2020, we will approve a new general plan, the Constitution for Development of our city, that will last for 20 years. There is a great deal to plan for. I don't have a personal agenda or a special interest. In fact, I don't expect endorsements from any special interests. I'm accustomed to data-driven decision-making, informed by people with the knowledge and who are affected by the decisions. My only interest is that the residents of Los Altos can continue to say with joy and pride, we live in the best city. With the knowledge and leadership skills I've acquired, I want to serve you, the residents, by putting your interests first. If that is your dream for the future, a city with small-town charm for you and your family, please support me and vote for Anita Enander for City Council. Thank you.
Sean?
Ready? Good evening. My name is John Mordo, and I have served 8 years on the Los Altos Hills Council and now 4 years in Los Altos. After studying engineering in France, I earned an MBA from Stanford. Most of my career was in the US in finance and general management. With my wife Barbara, I retired in 2001 in the Hills, and Barbara and I downsized in 2013, and friends of mine convinced me to run for council here. I found that it is challenging and frustrating sometimes, but satisfying when we manage to achieve some important goals. And I really like doing it. The city of Los Altos is a special place. Preserving what's great about it while evolving with the times require careful policy choices, trade-offs between vibrancy and serenity, density and calm. This is why I ran 4 years ago, and this is why I'm running again for a second term now. Preserving our treasured character while ensuring economic viability for our downtown businesses is possible. The council unanimously approved a long-term vision which would accomplish that goal, and I fully support that vision. I'm also looking forward to finally building a new community center, hopefully launch a new library, and address the lack of affordable housing, specifically for our teachers and first responders. We accomplished a few significant things over the last 5 years. We heard that what resident wanted, and after 20 years of trying, we finally approved a beautiful new community center with expanded opportunities for children, teens, and seniors. I've been a strong proponent of not skimping on the budget. This is a once-in-a-lifetime project. We need to do it right. We have aggressively stepped up our investment in our facilities, streets, parks, and buildings. More needs to be done. My comfort with finance gained during my corporate career, I believe, has helped me and my colleague on council be bolder on our financial commitments. We have begun to address the affordable housing shortage. In the next 4 years, I would like to start implementing the vision. We need changes in zoning ordinances regarding heights, setbacks, FAR, floor area ratio, and parking rules. I've championed a quick and inexpensive way to improve vibrancy without any construction, to liberalizing the allowed use on the first floor in the CRS district. I'm particularly excited about the pedestrian and dining hub proposed in the Central Plaza, and I realize that we need to provide replacement parking, and I would support a new parking structure. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Nancybromo, and many of you know me personally or know one or more of the projects that I've led over the last several years. Being on City Council means having a fair and balanced approach for all residents and all voices. It means building trust with other council members and the public. Being on council requires having the ability to analyze details and know how a policy on paper will translate to real-life situations. I have the skills necessary and the ability to collaborate and negotiate with the other 4 council members to make sound decisions. My decision to run for City Council has come directly out of my efforts to enhance our neighborhoods, parks, and quality of life. Some of the projects I've worked on directly include safe routes to school. I led an effort which took over 2 years and resulted in 3 new crosswalks, which were completed last year. Traffic and safety are 2 of my top priorities. I was also directly involved in the acquisition of Lincoln Park and am a strong advocate for our parks and open space. I pledge to protect our beautiful family-friendly neighborhoods and work to slow down traffic and improve bicycle and pedestrian safety. I also believe in the protection and enhancement of our historic sites, and I'm a longtime member of the Los Altos History Museum. I'm a strong advocate for our business community and a member of both our chamber and our village association. As a resident, I want to see our downtown and neighborhood business districts thrive. I have long been involved in programs for our youth and teens. I took on a leadership role to include teens in our new community center, and after almost a year, our city council has agreed to move our teen center out of the underground and into our new state-of-the-art community center. I believe we can provide a more engaging and inviting community for our youth. I have worked on and advocated for a new downtown performing arts center and proposed a nature center located in the vacated underground at Shout Park. I was also on the Public Arts Commission, which worked tirelessly to get the City Council to include an in-lieu arts fee so that we can finally start enhancing our community with public art. I work on these projects not because they are good for me, but because they are good for our community as a whole. I believe my experience and leadership in these areas and others will serve me well on City Council. My goals are to rebuild the trust between the council and the public by incorporating better outreach to draw more residents into all of these discussions. As a council member, I will analyze the data and information thoroughly and represent our best interests based on collaboration with the other 4 council members and constant community outreach. I encourage every resident to participate with me as we work towards making Los Altos the best it can be. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Nisa Flagger, and I'm running for Los Altos City Council. First, I'd like to thank the sponsors for tonight's debate. I feel very fortunate that all the candidates have the opportunity to talk directly to you, and also the folks who will be watching the video. So thank you so much for attending. I am running for City Council because over the next several years, City Council will need to make several big decisions on issues that I care deeply about and that will shape the future of Los Altos. I believe Los Altos deserves leaders with the right experience and leadership style to move those issues forward, to move the community forward together. I believe I am that leader based on my demonstrated experience and leadership style. Let me start with my experience. I currently serve on the El Camino Healthcare District Board, which is an elected body. I was appointed to the board last August, and my term expires in November. I also serve on the El Camino Hospital Board, and as a member of that board, we provide oversight to our CFO, CEO, and the rest of the management staff. I also served as chair of the Parks and Recreation Commission, vice chair of the Grant Writing Committee, and in both roles, I participated and led and championed different programs that benefited the entire Los Altos community. I'm also an attorney, and City Council is a legislative body where a lot of what it does is review and approve local laws. I have that experience because I also worked for Santa Clara County for over 9 years. And in that role, I worked with different departments, including the planning department, the procurement department, the hospital facilities, and the executive office to really learn the nuts and bolts of how local government works. I'm also the mom of a 10-year-old and a 6-year-old, and that voice and perspective is needed on council. I would bring that voice to council. So based on these combined experiences, I know I would add value to council. My leadership style is also important. I am collaborative, reasoned, and thoughtful. I've been endorsed by 8 former mayors, and as I talk with them, they emphasize the fact that to be effective on council, you need to have that type of leadership style. My 3 main goals is to preserve what we love about Los Altos, move those big issues forward together, and be a champion for all neighborhoods and business districts. Thank you again for coming this evening, and I respectfully ask for your vote.
Candidates, thank you very much.